Mechanical progression has acquired their extreme crease changes, particularly as far as blockchain arrangements. The extraordinary Vechain exchanging stage currently offers the unwieldy cycles that made the authoritative development late. This exceptional blockchain-based organization is instrumental in changing elements of an association more creative and techniques, all the more distinct. Allow us to look at the ongoing subtleties of Vechain and comprehend the Vechain cost expectation for what's in store. Vechain. Behind the screen adventure, the cerebrums behind this blockchain-based arrangement, Radiant Lu, made his blessing from heaven in 2015, an objective that was to make the store network and the board lifecycle faultless. Bright Lu conveyed his huge involvement with the field, with his stretch at Louis Vuitton China before this endeavor. For the establishment, Vechain brags of being the finished arrangement taken care of inventory network upgrade prerequisites. The credit for acquiring extremist changes the item lifecycle through a proficient overseeing framework goes to Vechain. While seeds of Vechain's starting point can be followed back to Ethereum code, today, the basic credits of Vechain are principally put to use in installment organizing, casting a ballot, shrewd agreements, and substantially more. Because of inventive arrangements from Vechain, engineers can today give highlights equipped straightforwardly to business customers. Vechain record and check each data about the store network development which further guarantee security. Mission Vechain. To comprehend Vechain establishment, one requirements to scrutinize the beginning. The basic role behind making this sort of blockchain organization was to resolve the issues being experienced by the strategies area, particularly regarding dissipated and unbalanced information. While the business battles huge information traffic day to day, sadly, a framework to make this information transferable and very much smoothed out was the center issue that stayed ignored. Serious compartmentalization leaves the whole store network, the executives in the greatest number of cases, to depend on unified information sources. At last this brought about an information transmission that was less real and hazier. Vechain. Delivering multifaceted change, the personalities through computerized mode made on Vechain token called VED are liable for getting more noteworthy responsibility. The total production network, the board. The fundamental idea of the Vechain or VED advancement arrangement is to improve store network, the executives, and item lifecycle, the board. This goal is achieved using conveyed record innovation, DLT, of Vechain. Vechain has empowered NFC and RFID radio recurrence distinguishing proof chips-driven observation. All the while, the Vechain blockchain stage has additionally permitted the utilization of QR codes and supply the executives. The labels and sensors are a vital piece of Vechain usefulness. Through this, Vechain can follow and administer significant information in supply-based coordinated operations. This data is handed off survive this blockchain stage. This approach helps the business experts in immaculate and fast information, the executives, in view of a credible check framework. This methodology is of central significance, particularly for enormous complex stock chains. As an organization, Vechain assists endeavors with keeping steady vigil and business refreshed in light of simultaneous turns of events. Vechain has worked with a not so much lumbering but rather more powerful confirmation of authority agreement through Know Your Client checked hubs, empowered by the VED establishment. Without a doubt, thanks are because of Vechain comprised immense organizations. Because of the pandemic, while somewhat recently, Vechain digital currency has been playing out its best in business sectors as of late. It has not fulfilled the assumptions for the computerized resource financial backers with regards to cost. This is chiefly because of the vulnerability winning on the lookout. Because of the pandemic impact, the venture situation has seen change and is probably going to go on according to Vechain cost expectation. Unpredictability in the Vechain cost has hit its capitalization as well. Subsequently, the expense of Vechain cost forecasts has previously hit its absolute bottom. Financial backers are wholeheartedly putting faith in the immunization they feel would be the enchanted wand for a hopeful VET cost expectation for the following year, for coin being seen as a wise venture. To acquire greatest benefit from the venture, it is prudent to sell out when the Vechain cost stirs things up around town level. The present VET cost is around $0.04582 in the cryptographic money market. A cost remedy after such a huge siphon would be normal for venture. Nonetheless, according to our Vechain cost expectation, the money could recuperate for the present moment, as the crypto market denoted a blended pattern at this point, bringing about the value climb of most altcoins. According to our Vechain cost forecast and other Vechain cost expectations on the lookout, the coin is toward the finish of its momentary bullish cycle. and it could safeguard the recuperation. Allow us to examine the Vechain cost expectation graph underneath. Let's push ahead to in our Vechain their cost expectation for next 5 years. Vechain value forecast 2023. Out of many vet cost expectations or Vechain cost forecasts out there, our Vechain estimate uncovers the normal vet cost could be $0.063. The hopeful Vechain expectation recommends the cost will raise a ruckus around town mark. Taking into account the development in market capitalization, the most extreme cost could take off up to $0.070. Vechain value forecast 2024. The value expectation Vechain for the year 2024 appears to be positive up until this point. The Vechain cost will float around $0.068 consistently, and it very well may be expected to raise a ruckus around town low of $0.055. The ongoing cost of the coin is around $0.045, and holding the VET token at this cost for a drawn out will help the financial backers. Vechain value forecast 2025. For the drawn-out Vechain cost expectations, the computerized coin cost gauge predicts that VET cost will have an enormous flood, and it could cross to arrive at $0.093, according to their specialized investigation. In 2025, Vechain cost expectation mirrors a likelihood that the cost could contact 0.08 around the last quarter. One more site for Vechain figure accepts that the VET cost will keep a vertical direction to reach $0.095 toward the finish of 2025. Other long-haul Vechain value expectations are excessively hopeful, putting the Vechain cost conjecture at around $0.098 toward the finish of 2025. Our individual and fair cost expectations Vechain VED is that it would have to work harder, assuming the coin value wishes to accept and attest its situation for bullish energy. As far as Vechain cost expectation 2025, the expensive Vechain needs to break the mental characteristic of the new high of 8 cents to begin an enormous bullish energy. In the event that it breaks the $0.080 mark, and assuming they play their cards well, and more organizations are expanding on Vechain VET. Or on the other hand, the following bull run kicks in the cost of Vechain could effectively siphon to $0.1 over the course of the following 10 years, according to Vechain cost expectation. With Vechain value expectation or VET cost expectation utilizing specialized examination, verifiable information, and different measurements, figures ought not be utilized to base a choice to purchase VET coins. Vechain value forecast 2026 and then some. The Vechain VET value forecast for 2026 is hopeful, considering how well Vechain assumptions are met with regards to advertised capitalization and blockchain network acknowledgement later on. The Vechain cost expectation 2026 uncovers that the typical cost to search for is 13 cents throughout the following 5 years. The Vechain cost could contact the ground, breaking 11 cents, according to our Vechain cost expectations, and could produce benefit for the financial backers. In view of our Vechain cost